So, welcome everyone. Thank you for coming. This week we are hosting a series of events called Essex Startups Presents Environment Week. And what we're aiming to do this week is to highlight and showcase some of our local businesses that we have relationships with, alongside our student and graduate startup businesses who all have a particular focus on environmental issues or the sustainability of their products or the way they operate their services. The university as a whole have a really huge sustainability drive, and the sustainability team are the ones that lead this particular week every year. And it's about, like I said, it's about showcasing what the university already does in terms of sustainability, the challenges that we might be facing, and how we can move forward in our fight to help the environmental impact that we have on the planet. And this year is the first year Essex Startups have got involved, and we thought it would be a great idea to give our local businesses and our student and graduate startups a platform to discuss their businesses and their ideas, and maybe some of the challenges they're facing as well. Just so we can all come together as a community to really appreciate the sustainable aspects of some of our newest businesses that are starting out. So today we've got Abel Akale from ONEOFFNATURE. He's the founder and CEO, and he's just going to take us through the setup of his business, the kind of issues that he's focused on, and any challenges he may have come across as he's started his startup journey. So what I'm going to do now is stop sharing my screen and allow Abel to share his. And then what we'll do is, if you want to take it away whenever you're ready, and then we'll have some questions at the end.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Hello, my name is Abel, and I am founder of ONEOFFNATURE. ONEOFFNATURE is a curated marketplace for ethical and sustainable fashion. It focuses mainly on made-to-measure clothing, which enables collaborative upcycling of consumer garments whilst operating as a resource to help the support and growth of emerging sustainable designers. We're over 3,500 tons of roughly equivalent to £140 million worth of used but still wearable clothes going into landfill in the UK every year. The majority of consumers aged between 16 and 34 saying they will be more likely to shop a sustainable retailer than one that is not. Clear the world is changing, and so is fashion. Consumers are looking deep into the environmental impact and clothing, the environmental impact of the clothing they buy and the life cycle of these products, including the imprint associated with disposal. The next step in fashion is upcycling and looking at how products are designed so they can be disassembled and reallocated, a new purpose for maximum efficiency and zero to minimal waste. We wanted to create a platform to help customers understand the importance of materials, the values of clothes, and the power of upcycling, while simultaneously celebrating the innovative talent of some of the young sustainable designers who created them. ONEOFFNATURE is a platform connecting emerging ethical and sustainable designers with end users. Our aim is to create a platform for sustainable designers, giving them a voice, offering them the opportunity to sell their garments or apply to be an upcycle designer and rework used garments or subscribe to our upcycle service. Our upcycle service essentially enables customers to be able to send in used garments, whether that be curtains or rags or socks, and have this turned or repurposed into something completely new, whether that's a blanket, a dress. It gives people the opportunity to, instead of throw and waste their clothes or give to charity, which the majority ends up in landfill anyway, to get something back, and if not save money and have something a bit more interesting that is about your life as well. Operating as an ethical and sustainable upcycle marketplace that focuses on made-to-measure handmade garments, customers can shop guilt-free through a curated selection of some of the most innovative emerging designers. Or they can collaborate with some of the most inspiring sustainable designers to upcycle one of their existing garments into a unique, one-of-a-kind piece. Designers have the option to subscribe to our support service, where we have sourced a directory of information overlooking essential areas and critical subjects. Our summaries are supported by a close community of designers sharing their experiences and case studies, helping other sustainable designers connect the dots. Today, I wanted to talk about the idea behind One of Nature. When I initially started working, today I want to talk about the idea behind One of Nature and how it initially started. When I was initially working for Savile-based bespoke suit company, Mullen & Mullen, this helped me appreciate the value of bespoke fashion. At this point, I was enamored by the idea of tailor-made fashion. And naturally, at this point, I didn't have enough money to buy bespoke suits. So I decided to go online, assuming there must be a plethora of marketplaces to collaborate with emerging designers. But to my astonishment, there was none, or virtually none. Those I could find were very much premium and out of my price range. The idea came to me to create a platform that would enable people to find emerging designers in an area close to them and send their garments and have it collaboratively redesigned. The idea of incorporating upcycling and the brand support element came at my time at the University of Essex, when I was living with another student who also had their own brand that focused on upcycling sustainable clothing. They were having increasing difficulty understanding the scope of their business and how to successfully run and grow it. This helped me understand the lack of easily accessible resources available to designers outside of fashion institutions and the need for this support. This led to me reaching out to many more designers to further try and understand the issues they're currently facing and see what resources they feel they need and that aren't readily available presently. Moving on, I wanted to talk about some of the other challenges we're currently facing and the fundamental reasons why, looking into the future, these areas are so important. Upcycling and our upcycle marketplace. One of the main challenges we're facing is getting the funding to build our beta, primarily the upcycle market and the ethical and sustainable shop. Why is this so important? And what issues will this allow us to resolve? I touched on this earlier, but with the upcycle market, we want to create a service where we can add value to pre-existing garments as opposed to buying something new, throwing it away. Why is this so important? The UK Waste and Resource Action Programme estimates that around 2/3 of reused clothes end up overseas, while acclaimed author of the #1 selling book, Clothing and Poverty, found that 90% of the clothes that we donate to charity are exported. The result of this never-ending wave of secondhand clothes that floods the shores of Africa sells as little as 5% or 10% of the cost of the new locally made garments, undercutting domestic textile industries. Not only does this put skilled workers and merchants out of work, but it makes African nations dependent on our donations, stifling their homegrown development, and the majority of these clothes either end up incinerated or in landfill in these countries. Encouragingly, De Castro, a leading expert in sustainability, states that she believes exportation can be done ethically if charities are able to diligently pick and consider the clothes that they are willing to send abroad, like in the case of Oxfam FIP Ethic is a prime example, where they carefully managed the export of clothes to them and found that employees were paid working wages and they were able to go to school and their children were able to be educated based off sending over garments that are actually of value. To local traders, a representative went to explain that workers get a fair wage, steady employment, and healthcare and pensions. While people continue to deal with the negative impact of the cost off that we throw away, it's important that we analyze our behavior. It's up to charities to be more transparent, and it's up to us to slow down our consumption and learn to treasure our clothes. It's up to brands to churn out less garments and see used clothes and textiles as a resource, and it's up to the government to value the lives and livelihood of those beyond our own shores. The solution? Charity clothes usually don't accept ripped or damaged clothes. So these are prime culprits for landfill waste. You can save your money and the planet by having damaged clothes mended or repaired, or better yet, upcycled, or try buying quality and sustainable garments instead. It's up to us as consumers to look at how we are donating and what we are donating and how frequently we donate and what it is we can do to prolong the life cycle of the clothes we have so we don't have to donate them or give them away so early. With the upcycle market, we want to give customers the best options whilst informing them and letting them learn about some of the processes associated with upcycling, so they can best understand how they can save money whilst adding value to their clothes and reducing their waste. Looking into the ethical and sustainable marketplace, we wanted to help customers, and we wanted to help customers understand sustainability. Moving on to sustainable, I wanted to touch on the change in consumer mindsets. Mass movements and social media campaigns and high-profile influencers had a profound and positive impact on consumer psyche when it comes to sustainability. People are now thinking more deeply about the wider environmental footprint of products they buy, and brands are starting to follow suit. Why is this so important? A recent study asked consumers what they would like to see retailers do to help them shop more sustainably. Clear labeling and detailed sustainable production methods was the most popular with 37%, followed by clear commitment to environmental friendly return processes at 29%. While this may seem obvious, there were other areas where retailers can differentiate themselves. Almost a quarter of respondents, 24%, said that having knowledgeable staff to guide them to the right products in the store is important. 18 said a similar online interface would be good to help them be more informed as to what is sustainable and what is not. This figure highlights the importance of consistent advice and guidance across the channels when it comes to sustainable shopping. Solutions. With One Off Nature, we want to build a platform of curated, verified, emerging sustainable designers, taking away any apprehension customers may have about sustainability of the products and the processes. We want to create an educational interface that helps customers understand the different kinds of sustainability and the value to each one. With our brand support, we want to help designers understand their businesses better, whilst also helping businesses be more sustainable and incorporate more circular practices into their business models. And building a strong infrastructure for future sustainable designers, helping manage the added cost and risk associated with sustainable fashion. Why is this so important? It's important with so many emerging ethical sustainable brands well, we've been working with so many emerging sustainable brands, helping showcase their work. Whilst doing so, we carried out extensive research into the issues they face, launching their brands and issues they're currently facing, and looking into the future subject matters they're most unsure of. And we had an overwhelming number of emerging brands citing difficulty in maintaining their businesses' sustainability whilst remaining profitable, with many stating issues with being a one-person business, trying to cover the production, admin, studio, and accounting, and the creative artistic side too. And with the huge marketing budgets and production of fast fashion brands, now more than ever, sustainable emerging brands need our support. Our solution, with our platform, designers will be able to subscribe to our service, where we have sourced a directory of information overlooking important areas and critical subjects. Summaries are supported by a close community of designers sharing their experiences and case studies, helping other sustainable designers connect the dots. And any questions? Thank you for listening.
Thank you for that, Abel. That was really interesting. Obviously, we've heard a bit about, well, I've heard a bit about your business previously, and it's really great to hear more in depth about it, because I'm starting to realize that I do have a lot of clothes from when I was younger that I literally don't want to part with, but they're not fit for purpose anymore. I think, no, I'll put on a few dress sizes. I wonder if somebody can make this a bit bigger for me. Or I've often looked and thought, oh, this pair of jeans would be great as a pair of hot pants, but other than just like cutting the legs off, I have no idea where to start. So yeah, I certainly feel like this is the beginning of something for people who feel like me, who have this stuff that they want to hang on to and just have no idea really what to do with it. And I am shocked about the amount that goes into landfill, because I give quite a lot to charity. When the charity bags come through the door, I'll always fill them up. And I didn't realize that a lot of that could actually go into landfill still anyway, if it's not perfect, like you said. So yeah, interesting. Has anyone else got any questions for Abel?
Yeah, I was gonna just ask something, Abel. Thank you for that. Like Alexa said, it's nice to hear even more about it, even though I know about your business quite well now. Just one thing, with your designers, do you monitor how the designers are maintaining sustainability, and maybe sort of like when they're sort of packaging up items and sending them back to the customer, are you able to monitor that so that they are actually being as sort of environmentally friendly as possible in that sense?
Well, in regards to postage, when they sign up, we want to partner with some sustainable packaging companies, so our designers will be able to get good deals in regards to packaging, bulk deals, and when they're selling their stuff. But we also will specify that we would want our designers to, to ship with environmental conscious in mind, whether that be using, a recycled material, recycled paper, or just not using paper or cardboard at all, actually.
Yeah. So those sort of when you're working with those designers, you'd already know those designers are on your same wavelength. So, yeah.
We make sure.
Materials,
Yeah, we make sure and verify initially when asking them that all the processes in regards to the clothing they make, the production, in regards to how they maintain sustainability, in regards to the postage and how they go about it before we even promote or advocate any emerging designer.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's a really good idea, I think, because sometimes, I mean, I know everyone's probably had that experience with something like an Amazon parcel, and you order something that's like this big and it comes in this huge box, and you're just like, I don't really understand why they think like that sort of thing. So if you've sort of got that connection with them before they even do anything, I think that's a really important issue to sort out. So that's great. Thank you. That's all I have.
It might be interesting for you to come to the talk scheduled tomorrow. One of our graduate, I don't know if I've already mentioned this to you, one of our graduate companies, CUSP, specialise in affordable, eco-friendly packaging. So that would be a really meet up for you two there. And then I don't know if you've heard of one of our current students, Somdip, before, Somdip Day. He gave a talk yesterday and he's got a food and waste management app. And he contacted me yesterday because I mentioned your talk, and he said I'd be really interested to discuss with him about what it is you're doing as well. So I'm happy to
sounds great
to contact. I know he had some stuff that came up today and he's got another talk tomorrow, so that's probably why he couldn't make it. But yeah, it's
definitely
opportunities to start meeting people where you can build relationships. Networking is always going to be super beneficial for everyone. Did you have a question, James?
Yeah, I did. It was really interesting, Abel. Thank you very much indeed. My question is you've got the big thing saying coming soon. How far actually are you away from being able to deliver this?
Well, we have the template and the wireframe all drawn up. Right now, we're looking to get some funding so we can actually build the platform, or the first beta of it, to do some testing so we can, best understand how our end users and designers interact with it in regards to both the educational aspects and the usability of it, and just the general intuitiveness of the website.
So what are you doing now with your, say, for instance, your designers? Presumably you've got a portfolio of designers that you've reached out to that are working with you and doing all that. What are you doing now with them, right, in terms of keeping them warm and on board and, a part of this process?
Well, initially, when designing the wireframe, there was initial agreement with some designers that I would be making beta iterations of it, and that I would be going to them for it, essentially, to build my betas. And they've been very much happy in regards to that, and they've been very supportive in that. And
my final question is this, you may have mentioned it within your presentation, and I apologize if I missed it, but is this kind of driven at a particular gender or market segment or something like that, or is it fairly kind of broad in the customer segment that it's aiming at?
It's fairly broad in the customer segment. Initially, with the pictures, you can see they're homed in at like more the young demographic, but that's primarily due to the fact that most of the upcycling designers that we've been in contact with are, establishing themselves rather so. But later on, we'd look to get more emerging brands in different sectors who target different types of clothing to broaden our target demographic.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anything from you, Magda?
No, great. I mean, obviously we've been working for such a long time on this already, so I love how it's like now the visuals. I haven't seen the visuals yet, so this is great to see how it's all coming together. So yeah, well done. I think it was great. I can now envision how it's all, like from when we very first kind of just drawn the picture of what you're thinking about, and to now, this is amazing. So I love that, you know, we get to see this journey of you, and that you're in that position now to actually pitch for funding and actually, you know, get going. I love that. So yeah, well done. Amazing.
Thank you very much.
And it's so great to have this. Obviously, we individually get to see a lot of student and graduate businesses, and it's just great to see how I think you can all just start to connect and become this team of businesses that all support each other. Because I know we're talking to somebody else who's really interested in more economical delivery methods, where it's like basically it's a car share, but for delivering packages. So it'd be like, we've got the designers, we've got the eco packaging, we've got the delivery structure all in place, and yeah, it's just really exciting that we can see all of these ideas growing and how they can interconnect. So hopefully we can start introducing you to some other people that were beneficial to each other, basically.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, unless there's any more comments or questions, we can wrap it up for today. Obviously, normally the session would go on for about an hour because we'd have a local business, but unfortunately, I couldn't secure anyone for today. I think it's a really busy week for everyone. Students, businesses, everything is really going off this week. So yeah, but thank you so much for joining us, Abel, and it was really great to
have me.